Ever since the Black Lives Matter insurrection in the summer of 2020 for George Floyd, who was canonized as a saint, the pandering to black people and promotion and celebration of blackness went supernova, and all the Fortune 500 companies started obsessing over diversity, equity, and inclusion. So now it's nearly impossible to even find a white couple or a white family featured in television commercials, because diversity is a cultural Marxist code word for less white people. During the commercial breaks now, it feels like you're watching BET, the black entertainment channel. No matter what channel you're on, they're saturated with mixed race couples and, of course, interracial gay couples, to the point that they're so dramatically overrepresented that viewers couldn't help but notice, although few white people dared say anything critical about it for several years because of the usual fears of being called racist. At one point, comedian Adam Carolla couldn't hold back and tweeted, "According to TV car ads, fully 86% of Americans are interracial couples who spend their weekends camping with outdoor theater setups." Joe Biden noticed too, but he thinks it's great. During a town hall event 2 years ago, when he was touting the avalanche of diversity, he said this.
And I'm going to say something's going to get me in trouble, which I couldn't go through a whole show without doing that. Did you ever 5 years ago think every second or third ad out of 5 or 6 you'd turn on would be biracial couples?
I think interracial marriage is a sign of progress,
Of
frankly.
course.
Heck yeah.
Like, I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing.
Scientifically, consciously.
And another time, when boasting about the progress America was making under his administration, he again basically said the same thing.
I challenge you, find today, when you turn on the stations, sit on one station for 2 hours, and I don't know how many commercials you'll see. Lay 8 to 5. 2 to 3 out of 5 have mixed race couples in them. That's not by accident.
Of course it's not by accident. It's part of the plan to abolish whiteness, as the Marxists openly admit. When I asked on Facebook last year if anybody else felt like they're watching BET during the commercial breaks on TV, even on Fox News, since I hadn't seen a white couple for over a week, the post got over 30,000 likes and more than 10,000 comments from people who are also noticing the obvious. Shortly after my Facebook post, actor Kevin Sorbo tweeted, "Is it just me, or have you also noticed that TV commercials in the last 2 years have had major casting changes?" Everyone noticed, but few people would say anything about it because, again, they didn't want to be called racist. Kevin Sorbo was even afraid, obviously dancing around what he was really thinking in his tweet. Jake from State Farm, the phone operator in the State Farm insurance commercials, mysteriously turned black, which is perhaps the first race swap in a commercial years ago, something that is now a common occurrence in film franchises. The Tide laundry detergent company has a commercial showing two lesbians who are both white folding laundry and talking about how their kids always get their clothes dirty, and then it cuts to them playing in the backyard and they're black. Two white lesbians with some adopted black kids for extra diversity. Progressive Auto Insurance has numerous commercials featuring married couples depicted as new homeowners, where the husband is white with a black wife. Geico then followed suit, using mixed race couples in their commercials too. There are too many major brands doing it to count, and what started off as just a few isolated instances is now the standard practice in advertising. There's a meme that was created by a comic called Stone Toss, showing a man in a meeting pitching an ad campaign to sell burgers, and the proposed advertisement just shows a black person and a white person kissing with the caption, "Tasty." Another member of the meeting looks on skeptically and asks, "Are you sure that this will help us sell burgers?" Burgers? The presenter asks, because the intention was obviously to promote mixed race couples, not the actual product, and thus a meme was born. And of course, the ADL has denounced the artist Stone Toss as racist, so you know he's funny. Comedian Chris Rock joked in his latest Netflix special that he even feels bad for white people because there aren't any more white couples in commercials anymore, adding this.
What would make white men think they're losing the country? What? What, because there's no more white couples in commercials? There's no black couples either. Every commercial has a mixed race couple. Everything.
Yeah, the brand-name conservative commentators won't say anything about it though, because they don't want to appear as if they're standing up for white people, because that's the ultimate taboo in America. White people are supposed to bow their heads in shame and constantly apologize for existing and always put black people on a pedestal because 150 years ago, their ancestors were slaves. Well, boo-hoo. Once white people are a minority in the United States, estimated to occur around 2045, will it then be okay for a white entertainment channel like black people have BET, Black Entertainment Television? Will white people be able to have a Miss White USA pageant since blacks, Latinos, and Asians have their own beauty pageants for their race? Once whites become a minority in America, can we have white student clubs on college campuses like the Black, Asian, and Latino student organizations? Will it be okay for a white person to say that they're proud to be white? No, it won't. The special interest groups for blacks, Latinos, and another ethnic group will get unhinged and scream that white supremacy has tried to resurrect itself, and white people had their turn, they'll say, and don't deserve to be proud of their race or culture because they enslaved black people hundreds of years ago. White people must forever bow down to the new Latino, Black, and Asian majority and live the rest of our lives in servitude to the new ruling class to atone for the sins of our white ancestors, they'll demand. Of course, black people ignore the fact that virtually all countries in the ancient world had slaves. Maybe we should point out that black Muslim tribes in Africa actually sold other Africans to the European slave traders who brought them to North America. Africa is also the world's leader in modern-day slavery, where millions of people remain trapped in forced labor today. Not to mention 1 million white Europeans from Britain and Southern Europe were kidnapped by Barbary pirates, Muslims from the Barbary Coast, a region in North Africa, and brought to Africa as slaves between the 16th and 19th century. Yes, white people were enslaved in Africa. Maybe it's time Europeans start demanding reparations from Africa. Of course, black TV shows are always celebrated as being important because black people need to identify with the characters and their experiences, while every show featuring a white family or a white group of friends is denounced for being too white. And when the question is raised about a white counterpart to BET or white-only shows and movies, the knee-jerk reaction is always to claim that the majority of entertainment is produced for white people. But with forced diversity being injected into almost every single television show, movie, and even commercials now, which all do their best to make sure that there are an equal number of white, black, Asian, and Latino characters, the claim that white people have entertainment that is a reflection of our own family, community, and culture is now null and void. If you enjoy watching my serious monologues like this, then you'll really enjoy reading my books because there's so much more information in them that I can't get into on YouTube for obvious reasons. So order my book, Hollywood Propaganda: How TV, Movies, and Music Shape Our Culture, in paperback from Amazon.com, or download the ebooks from any of the major ebook stores. And of course, there's a link to the Amazon listing in the description below, so click it, head on over there, and check it out.